Parents, in this video, I'm going to talk to you, and teachers, I'm going to talk to you about 3 myths that people often have about planners, calendars, and agendas. So, the first myth, oh, by the way, my name is Seth with SethPerler.com. I'm an executive function coach out of Boulder, Colorado, and I work with students who struggle with this thing called education and help them learn how to better navigate it. And the first planner myth that I'm going to talk to you about is that giving a kid a planner is enough. So there's this myth with adults that if we just give them the right planner, that's good enough. But the fact is that these skills of learning how to plan, these skills of using a planner to effectively track and manage the tasks and responsibilities that a human being has, the skills that are required to do that are enormous. There are a lot of micro skills that are involved in this process. And I think that what happens is that kids usually get planners in 5th or 6th grade. That's usually when they're first given them by the school or the parents. And I think that what happens is that at that time we give these planners out, and a lot of the kids in 5th or 6th grade do well with planners. They're given a little bit of guidance and they can run with it. And then you have these other kids who are given the planners and they're like, what do you want me to do with this? This isn't fun. Not only is it not fun, but I don't know what you want me to do with this. And so the idea is that if we give it to you and give you a little guidance and say use it, that you're going to use it. Well, I want to dispel this myth. So what I think is happening here is that the kids who are naturally pretty decent at using them, they actually have been building on these micro skills for years in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. By the time they're in 5th and 6th grade, they've built a lot of decent executive functioning planning skills. They're more linear thinkers, whether that's by nature or nurture. I'm not getting into that, but they have better executive function skills. They're more linear, they're more sequential, they're more process thinkers. They're more detail oriented people. And so they take to this stuff more easily. They look at a planner and they say, and you give them a little guidance and they say, oh, that makes my life easier. But the kids who haven't been consciously or intentionally building these skills over the years, and the more free spirited, big picture, global thinker, right brain, these type of kids who don't have great executive function, they get the planner and they say, ugh, look at my shoulders, watch. Ugh, what? Why? What am I supposed to do? I can't track all the things you're telling me to do. It's just overwhelming to them, all of the skills that are involved in this. So again, myth number 1 is that giving them a planner is enough. It's not enough. These are very high level skills. It has to be taught and it takes years to teach. And for the kids who haven't been taught that directly, we need to teach that. Myth number 2 is one size fits all. You'll see a middle school with 1,500 kids. They buy boxes of these planners. They get them. The teachers get them. They take them to the classrooms. They pass them out. And you got 1,500 middle schoolers in a middle school with the exact same planner as if one size fits all, as if that planner is the end all be all for all of them. These planners have the school handbook in the front. They have the hall pass in the back. They have the periodic table, commonly misspelled words, a bunch of crap they don't need in the planner. And they have 2 or 3 pages in the front of it that says how to use a planner. And then the teacher might give a little bit of guidance and say, okay, pull out your planner, blah, blah. But that's not enough. So anyhow, one size fits all is myth number 2. One size does not fit all. There's another place where I see the one size fits all myth, and that is where somebody researches planners. What's the best planner? You get back a bunch of results on the internet as to what's the best planner. You read the reviews. You see all these people that are crazy about this planner. The person who designed the planner has written a book about the planner and has a course about the planner, and everything's the planner. It's the coolest thing in the world. And the people who write the reviews, the 5-star reviews, they love it. Well, guess what? They're the people who use it. The people who use the 1-star reviews probably, well, there probably aren't many of them because they're not using it. They don't have the experience to say, I'm going to give this one. So there just aren't many people who do that. So you got to really think about, why are these reviews here? Now, those planners are often good for people with decent executive function already, who are willing to take the time to learn the methodology and the intention behind that particular planner design. Again, there is no one size fits all. Many planners can be good for many different people. People who use those planners well are using the skills of planning. They've just given you a device that helps you use those skills fairly well. And you adapt somewhat your personality and style to these planners. They've given you a jumping off point and some guidance around how to do that. But these for people who plan decently well and want to spend the time to refine that stuff, they're going to love these planners. Your kid, if they struggle with executive function, is not going to spend that much time on it, especially independently learning how to do it. Myth number 2, one size fits all. Myth number 3, planners don't work for my kid. Really, it's more planners don't work for me. You really hear this myth more for a kid. They'll say, yeah, planners don't work for me. Yeah, I don't like planners. I hate planners. Planners just don't work. The planner's not working. It's that the kid isn't working the planner. Now, as I said before, they don't know how to. So it's like giving them this guitar. Let's say you've never played guitar before. And giving you this guitar that has a lot of excuse me, there's a phone call, that has a lot of complicated things going on. You have to know how to change the strings. You have to know how to clean it with the proper cleaning stuff. You have to know how to change the pickups, how to change the volume, how to change the tone, which pickups gives you what sound, what that F hole is for, why those dots are there, why those frets are there. Do you like big frets, small frets, flat frets? There are so many complicated things with this instrument. And a planner is a very complicated instrument that helps us track our responsibilities and our tasks effectively. So when a kid says they just don't work for me, they're really saying, I don't have the foundation of knowledge that I need, the complex skill set to use this incredible tool you're giving me. And you're giving it to me and saying, hey, go make an amazing song with this, like with the guitar, but you've never played it before. And you're like, what in the world are you talking about? And that's what we do to kids here. So those are the 3 big myths that I wanted to talk about. Now, I'm not just going to leave you hanging there. I'm going to tell you now, how do you pick the right planner? So I've just told you some of these big myths because I don't want you just thinking that if your kid struggles with executive function, you give them the right planner and they're going to be okay. No, we have to really help them learn the skills. But you do have to get one. Now, I can't go too deep into it in this video. I've already been talking for 7 minutes, but I will tell you this. What a kid will do when you go into the office store and you say, or online or whatever, and you say, what planner do you want? Their filter that they're picking, it's like if I were to go into a guitar store with someone who's never played guitar and say, which one do you want? They might pick the one that's their favorite color, or that the shape looks cool, or that reminds them of their favorite rock star. They're not looking at how is this going to perform. And they need to look with planners at how am I going to be able to use this to plan. Now, how are you, the parent, going to help them choose that if they don't have the background knowledge? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to open up dialogue. So they're going to say, so a lot of times kids will be like, oh yeah, that one, I don't like the way that one looks. I don't want my friends to judge me when they see the way that one looks. You know, they're thinking thoughts like this. That one looks cool. That one goes under the radar. I'm not going to stand out with that one. I like that one's small. I like that one's small. It's easier to carry. Big, it's easier to find. Like, people have all their thoughts. What your child is not thinking is, how am I going to use this to plan and effectively track my tasks and responsibilities in my life to make my life easier? That's not what they're thinking. That's the dialogue you want to have. So they look at a planner and you say, what do you think of this one? They say no, and you say, why? And they say, well, because of blah, blah, blah. And if their answer doesn't really have to do with planning, then I want you to press them and say, well, what about if this was yours? How would you use this to plan? And they would say whatever they would say. And then you look at the next one. How would you use this one to plan? That's the question. The dialogue you want to be having is, how would you use this to track homework? How would you use this one to track tests? How would you use this one to track projects? If you parents go into the store and you're talking about how they're going to use this to effectively manage and track their responsibilities and tasks, that's what you want to be doing. Now, Does that mean you're going to walk out of there with the perfect planner? No, your kid may be using it for 2 weeks and you see that it's not working. Again, does that mean that they're not working it? Maybe it means they're not working it. We really need to spend a lot of time with them in the first 6 weeks of school, developing planner skills. And a lot of times in middle school, the teachers will hand out a planner and say, open your planner, write this in it, and it's not teaching the skills. And again, for the kids who seem to pick it up naturally, they seem to be working harder. Well, they're not. They've been working for years at picking up these skills. Your kid is actually working really hard to figure out what the heck is going on with this. So anyhow, I hope that helps you. Again, my name is Seth with SethPerler.com. You can sign up for my weekly updates at SethPerler.com. And August 23rd, 2019, we have ExecutiveFunctionSummit.com. I'll leave a link below. ExecutiveFunctionSummit.com. It's an executive function summit for you parents. I've gotten 23 experts from all over the place who are going to share all of their expertise about executive function with you for free for 3 days starting August 23rd. Register for free at Executive Function Summit. Please share my work. Please share the summit with people if you like it. And please, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. That helps me on YouTube. And subscribe to my site. Subscribe on YouTube. Whatever you want to do to support me. If this was helpful to you, please support my work. Alrighty then. I will see you next Sunday.